Hey Virgo.
Okay, so let's go. All right. So we have the Chariot, a major arcana on the bottom here. So the Chariot is often depicted with someone in a chariot, and there's usually two animals um, in the front. And the meaning behind it is, if you were to imagine that you were in a chariot or some sort of um, cart or something being pulled by, say, horses, and say the horses got spooked and just took off. So you have a few choices. You can either just sit there in the cart hanging on for dear life and go along for the ride, or you can try to grab the reins and take control and at least steer it where you want to go and try to take control of the situation. So the energy of the Chariot, when it comes out and as an underlying energy, is this week it may be time to take control, to take the reins and take control of a situation. And remember that you're in control of your life and you are the one that is to steer where it's going. And you don't just have to go along for the ride. Now, why do we go along for the ride? Well, we don't feel like we have a choice. We're doing what we think we should because of what other people have told us. We feel powerless. Um, there are all sorts of different reasons. So this week, I would really explore why if you're not feeling that you're in control or that you have the ability or the within you to sort of take the reins of your own life and steer the course the way you want it to go, just to sort of think about that. Like, why is that? Is it really true that I can't? Or um, why might I feel that way? But this is a really great energy. It's telling you, hey, go ahead. You have permission to take charge and take control and speak up and say how you want things to go, especially when it comes to your own life, because it's your life, right? And on a mundane level, this fits very nicely with the holidays in the US because it can talk about travel, getting new cars, things like that. So the next card we have is the Five of Swords. So the Five of Swords is a sort of a clash of minds. Two people have opposing views, and it's creating conflict. That's human. That's life, right? Humans do not always agree. So in the setting of the Chariot, I feel like, don't shy away or back down this week if there is a conflict. Like um, you need to speak your mind and take charge of the situation and not shy away from it because it's uncomfortable. This is something that you need to have your input. It doesn't mean you can't compromise, or you have to either win it all the way, win in quotes, or lose all the way. But you do need to show up and be a part of it. And the next card is the Hermit, so another major arcana. So the Hermit is sort of a time in life, a situation where we're sort of taking all the external knowledge that we've acquired and we're turning within and we're thinking, how does this make sense to me? How does this make sense to my life? How am I going to um, use this information and use it to guide me? So again, this is remind me of the Chariot. What is your spirituality? What do you think about a situation? How are you going to let all this external information influence you? How do you fit into this world? What do you think and what feels right to you moving forward? And what are you going to allow to guide you? what's your inner guidance? This light, I think, is your enlightenment. And how are you going, what are you putting in that lantern? What thoughts have kind of clicked for you that that you feel comfortable allowing to guide you? And this is, again, back to the chariot. You don't just go along because other people said so, or you're afraid, you don't want to deal with this conflict. And I know conflict's hard, so I'm not sitting here telling you, oh, get over it and deal with it. Or maybe you have to compromise some. This card can be a card about having to compromise. But really, this week, I think that we're going to have some insights into our situation that are going to be very helpful for us moving forward. Interesting. And we have the Seven of Cups. So I feel like there's been some indecision and maybe some shying away from dealing with conflict, a little bit of burying our heads in the sand, perhaps. But I think what may appear to be sort of shying away from conflict has been just some indecision about how best to move forward. But I think what's happening this week is that the Hermit, we are going to have sort of our internal aha moment and go, okay, you know what? I get it. And this card of indecision, I'm going to, in the setting of the Hermit, I've gone within and followed my own counsel and made sense of what is best for me and what is comfortable for me and how I feel all of this fits into my world and my view of the world and how I want to be in the world and what I am about. And then once you have that, you're able to make the decision and deal with the conflict. And then you're in control. So there's a sort of an awakening and grabbing the reins and taking control. And that's been done through going within, through struggling with some conflict and some indecision and not sure which choices to make. But this decision is one from the inside. You can have this indecision of the Seven of Cups because you're supposed to go to school and get a degree. You're supposed to have a good job with benefits. Society tells you that this is what you're supposed to do. Your parents always wanted someone to be a doctor. I'm just making stuff up. People would think I'm weird if I started a YouTube channel doing tarot card readings, things like that. But then going within and really saying, what do I want? What do I believe? What do I think is important? What do I want to represent in this world? How does the world make sense to me? And how do I make sense in the world? And I think we're going to come to a place where we've made some of those decisions about where we fit into this world, which is going to enable us to deal with some of the things we hadn't previously been able to deal with because we didn't have it straight within how we felt about it and once we're like, wait a minute, we're in charge. We get to take the reins of our own life. We get to steer these unicorns or whatever they are and move forward on our path the way it makes sense for us. So thank you so much for watching. Take care.